Hello and good afternoon or good evening or whatever, depending on when you're watching. But thanks for clicking on to join us at the Portrush Gathering of the Clan Scooter Rally for part 2 of our Northern Ireland Scooter Tour video. Little bit of a lay-in for us this morning, which was just as well after last night's shenanigans. Another superb breakfast courtesy of Tracy at the All Seasons Guest House, which set us up for the day. We were all ready for the Portrush Scooter Rally's annual ride out to Ballantoy Harbour. We headed out around 11:30, taking a quick skirt around Portrush before making our way to the rally hub at the Golf Links complex. So the Damsels in Distress Scooter Club, who have hosted the rally, have brought us 14 miles to this lovely, picturesque, old smuggling and fishing harbour at Ballintoy. Some of you may recognise it as being one of the places from around these parts that was used as a filming location for the Game of Thrones. So after refreshments, a chill out and a chinwag at Ballintoy, it was time to wave goodbye to this absolutely stunning location. Making our way up the windy ascent from the harbour to hook up with the Causeway Coast road back to Portrush. the way back to Portrush, we called in to see the Maghera Cross viewpoint, which was new for 2021 and had only just opened. The purpose-built cliff-top viewing platforms offer panoramic views of the Causeway Coast's stunning natural environment. With Portrush over there in the west, and looking out over the Skerries, you can see the North Atlantic beyond. Unfortunately, Andy, or Fingers, had a bit of an issue with his scooter this morning, so he spent the afternoon back at the B&B, stripping it down to find out what's wrong and to see if he can fix it. It's time now for us to head back there and to see how he's getting on. Oh dear, well, he's found the culprit, a smashed piston skirt. Fortunately, we've got some tools and some spares with us on the van, so with Andy's expertise, it should be fixed in no time, and all good and ready for the 240-mile ride home tomorrow. After a fish and chip supper, it was back down to Kelly's village again for another night of entertainment, with the DJs and the live all-female ska band, the Statuesques. Absolutely brilliant. So we've had a great few days discovering the Causeway Coast, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the Portrush scooter rally. But all good things have to come to an end, and today we start making tracks towards home. There's a couple of planned stop-offs on the first leg of our journey, which is 74 miles back to Belfast for tonight's ferry. The first stop-off this morning was at this atmospheric tunnel of beech trees known as the Dark Hedges, near Stranachan. The Dark Hedges was a filming location for the King's Road scenes in the Game of Thrones TV series, and it's an ideal setting for us to get a couple of iconic snaps of us with our scooters. It was just a short hop for our next stop off at Ballymoney. The Joey Dunlop Memorial Garden was opened by Ballymoney Borough Council in May 2001. There were numerous memorial plaques and a large bronze statue of the racer, set in some lovely gardens where visitors can reflect on the unprecedented achievements of this much loved international motorcycling legend. At pretty much the halfway point, we broke up our return ride back to Belfast at Ballymena, with a half-hour stop for a coffee and a sandwich in the 45-acre People's Park. So after a leg stretch and refreshments in the People's Park, it was back on the bikes to find our way out of Ballymena and to make a beeline cross-country to Belfast. We reached Belfast at about 4 p.m, just in time to hit a sports bar for refreshments and for the live football on Sky Sports. Then, just before dusk, we had a chance to pop down to the Titanic Quarter for photos. Here we are outside the Titanic Exhibition Centre. And this area here is actually the site on where the Titanic was built. And the slipways where it was launched 110 years ago in 1912. Next to the Titanic exhibition area is White Star Line's SS Nomadic, which lays in the dry dock. This is a 1/3 size version of the Titanic. The Nomadic was built as a tender ship for the Titanic to transfer passengers and cargo to its big sister. So as darkness starts to fall in Belfast, it's time for us to make tracks to the Stena Line Belfast ferry terminal. And here's Connor with a final word from our trip.
Right, it's been a great trip. Northern Ireland has been absolutely beautiful. People are lovely. It's been a great couple of days. We're just now at the ferry port. It's about 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and we're just ready to go back to Birkenhead.
And it's been a tough old week, so I've had to have one of these bad boys.
So after a couple of drinks, we all crammed back into the 4-berth cabins on the Stella Embla for another lovely night of everyone snoring and farting whilst we all tried to get about 5 hours sleep. Getting rudely awakened again about 5:30 by the ship's tannoy system, we disembarked at the break of dawn. And stopped for replenishments and fuel along the A41 in Birkenhead before our morning's 140-mile ride home. Here's the gang, all safely made it to Hinckley, which was our last stop before home. This is around midday, and we eventually got home about 1 p.m. Our 5-day trip around Northern Ireland, and in particular the Causeway Coast, had been a great adventure. Certainly a trip that we plan to do again in the not too distant future.